Так, где там? YouTube. YouTube. Ну давай. Ну, картинка хорошая. Ну, доставка. Мгм. Может, оконный режим, типа, вся эта херня? А ты мне вообще не грузится. Ну, прогружается, типа, ролик. То есть, сейчас начал, я вижу твою стрелочку, и она крутится. Ну, очень слабо работает, там прям зависает стрим. Да. Ну, я вижу только твой курсор, и типа, он крутится, и всё. Зависает, кажется, секунду, короче. Надо я перезагружу. Сейчас вообще не грузит. Загрузил. Это значок появляется во время загрузки или сохранения. Я завис. Я ничего не вижу. Он сейчас чуть пиксельный стал. Сейчас я... Какое качество получше? Ну, у тебя прям график такой обрезанный такой. Подъем в этом. Еще пикселяция идет. И типа кадров очень мало. О, все, у тебя прям идет прям этот. Пикселяция прям как с этим была. Ух, ё. У тебя загрузка идет. Смотри, не, загрузка идет у тебя. Ух, ё. Ну у тебя прям пикселяция жестко идет. Вообще жестко. Ну прям как будто, ну прям, что именно стрим? Ты у меня в этом находишься, вот в этом. О, сейчас загрузил что-то. Погоди-ка. Ну, давай. В игре. Ну в игре уже нормально уже. Ну, вроде, да, нормально. Ну, просто кадры оставались, пиксели прошлой игры. А ты из GTA вышел, да, уже? У тебя 2 игры, что ли, включено? А, привет, а ты точки еще сидишь? Эй, ты, на. Ой. Извини, ты уже не толчки. Ой, ты бегаешь? Ты ходишь? На тебя... Нет. А ты ходишь? Ты ходишь. Ты как в игре ходишь, так и тут ходишь. Да, ты потолка. Ну, потому что я тебя ударил, и тебя анимация сбилась. Эй, что ты бьешь меня? Нажми F2 и сохранись, короче. Ой, уже нет. Я спрятался наверху. Все. Я на кровати, да. Да-да-да. Да-да-да, там. Ходишь там, код смотришь там. Труп смотришь. Ну да, нормально все. Или там ходишь, это делаешь.
You. Yeah, you there. Come here.
What do you want?
Sleep. That's That's all.
Sleep?
No. Have you seen the...
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah. And in exchange...
You'll draw the guards to you.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
I'll find you...
Go look.
Слышь.
Oceans. Its waves rise and crash.
Ну что, нормально, стрим у тебя работает, все хорошо. Нет, нет, ты стоишь в углу. Нет. Просто стоишь на месте. Все, эй, прыгивай. Ну, бьешь только на кровати. Все, слез, спасибо, молодец. Че от меня бьешь?
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Может, это так, ну, такая игра. Ты у меня стоишь к стенке прилип. Раз, два. О, господи. Там еще звук еще ловится от чата. Ну, я имею в виду в игре, то есть в стриме. Нет, я слышу себя через Discord. Там именно как тоже микшер должен быть, типа.
I'll go take a look.
Now this way.
You won't get far.
Шлем, куда упираешься. Сейчас пошел к телеку. И если нажмешь Е, то ты сейчас уйдешь отсюда на улицу. А, на геймпаде? Ну, за мной, если нажмешь на правую стрелку, то ты уйдешь.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Давай Borderlands в Epic Games. Здесь какая следующая игра будет?
Where do they keep their sleeping pills?
Че, клаустрофобия, что ли, у тебя? И что будет, если полностью сожмется?
Scopolamine, morphine, opium. Nothing but common drugs. My new friend's sleeping pills.
Ладно, пойду.
control wheel to mount on a plumbing system. The green gas leaves from here and it runs through the whole building. Now for the next step. This lever must turn on the gas machine. The piping hasn't burst. Not yet, anyway. This valve controls the pressure. Perfect. It's done. Now for the others. I can still increase the load. Worse and worse. The liquid connects it to the electric current. What are its properties? This is madness. Are they seriously thinking of transmitting the properties of this meat by electric current? Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push. I bet there's no longer any priests on Darkwater. I've got what you want.
Show me!
There. And remember, they don't come for free.
Don't you worry, you'll have your diversion. Go on now, go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away.
I can still increase the load. What carnage. All the levers are activated.
This way!
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it! What's going on?
Hey!
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. No, don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me. No!
Sanders! What the hell? I gotta... Okay. This is insane. What killed him? The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Who knows what he could do? What you say is true.
That is precisely why I'll find evidence.
Fine. Do what you want.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
the rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood. Everywhere. My legs. The pain. I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families
Алло. 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 Мне зап Ага. Я сижу, посмотрю в экран и вижу, мне появляется окошко маленькое внизу. Мол, типа, вы не получили зарплату, так как вы были в этом. Ну, типа, не в онлайне. Нет, я, ну, как бы я знаю. Понятно. 20 минут осталось. Сейчас еду, попробую тачку продать. Что мне игра предложит? Ну, не. Я лучше в этот... У меня денег нет. Не знаю, не знаю. Не знаю, не знаю. Да-да-да. Алло, алло. Да не знаю, да нет. Да ну нафиг. Очень дешево мою тачку хотят продать мне. Ну, ты можешь поменять в любом АБСе. Ну, я думаю, что есть. Там в зависимости должно быть. Ты просто посмотри. Там выбираешь либо через процессор, либо кодек выбираешь, через что же тебе нужно кодировать всю такую херню. Там куча смысла в том, что ты можешь либо через обычный процессор, либо через процессор видеокарты.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell,
Все.
Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines and chains and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways.
Ты сейчас там дома тусуешься?
Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
Да, по-моему, в этот зашел. Инвентарь, по-моему, походу зашел ты.
Islanders used to worship primitive...
Кладовки именно. Не... Я уехал. Уехал в этот... дальнобойщиком. От первого лица так клево играть вообще. Прикольно. Да? Да, да. Ну, сюда я, наоборот, еду туда только. Я просто хочу... Ну ты, блин, вообще неправильно играешь. Нельзя играть в азартные игры вообще. И что? Там чувак, там я смотрел, чувак ставил 20 раз по 10 тысяч на нули. Ну, чтобы там либо, ну, понял, либо 10, либо 0. И ничего не выпало, ничего ему. За 20 штук, ну, за 20 раз. Да. Ну, так тоже первый раз выпало ему, а потом уже не выпадало нифига сколько. Как туманно что-то как-то на улице. М.
gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
Someone did deface Brendan's statue.
Delinquents. Hoodlums. You got nothing more solid than that?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow
Так, все, приехал.
late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
А,
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Только побегай, там подвигайся. Попробуй выйти из здания и снова зайти. Ну, не знаю.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Ай нажимаешь. Просто ты находишься рядом с кладовкой, Е нажимаешь, или на правой крестовину. 1200 рублей должен прийти. Короче, 46 минут должен прийти тебе. А, 13?
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much, at least.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders.
Чего?
I won't be long. The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. A house of artists. A House of Artists. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why? The Shambler. I need to see it. Did she really care for him after all?
Тачку продают. Ну, кто? М? Ну да. Ну, это же машинку, которая
Let's see what the
арендованная,
cylinder
которая
has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
550. 50, 55 Full ТП. Ну, Full это полную ФТ.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Две минуты осталось. У меня 1 минута осталась. Блин, то оставлять машины, блин. Сейчас сыграть 5 часов. Сейчас, подожди, я там чуть-чуть. 1 минута осталось мне. 0 минут.
The strange Amerindian pendant.
Блин, тут трек ходит, он дебил.
I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Все, я отыграл. Сейчас сыграю рулеточку. Рулетка.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others.
Говно.
What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Сыграл рулетку, короче. Я недоволен.
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins.
88.
One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
There's more than that, Miss Baker.
So people have been talking behind my back. I was almost beginning to like you, Mr. Pierce. But it stays cat for you.
You knew the Sanders?
Irene is a friend of mine.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose?
Повезло.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Потому что картина, может, картинка?
The public entrance to the gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons? The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? I can't even touch it. What the hell was that? That thing. This painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it. Damn. I could try tearing the painting with this thing.
прислал-то?
What the hell was that?
Это что поделать? Делать.
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Не как в этом. Isolation, чужие.
What the hell was that?
Ну, мне кажется, просто нужно найти выход и все.
Maybe I can use this dagger. What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
Алло. Чё?
I can't even touch it.
А чё за здание тебе? Я не знаю.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that? I can't even touch it. That may
Может, шкаф нужно зайти?
use this dagger.
И про до безумия дойти. До безумия дойти. Ну и жди, когда там тебя крыша поедет.
Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Помню, что вообще батарейка села быстро на ноутбуке.
What the hell was that?
Слышишь? Я просто вытянул, чтобы перейти в другую комнату, я взял, когда запущено все еще, и мне вот прям батарейка уже практически села. Да. Ну пусть выпрыгнет.
Maybe I can use this dagger. What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
FPS падает. Может, у тебя FPS падает?
What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
Я сейчас играю. Смотрю сейчас.
What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger. Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Ну, почитай журнал, если есть какой-нибудь. Что написано?
Use a specific dagger. This dagger looks different.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Where's the bookseller? Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary. Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century. The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers placed truth on the same footing as a religion. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge. What happened here?
Алло. Ты тут?
Let's start over.
Что тут на
Where
улице
did they
делаешь?
break in from?
Прямо, что на улицах в куртке в труселях. Ой, кто-то уж исчез. Опять, опять сортир решил. Ну, садись, садись.
To whom does this footprint belong?
Стоишь, идешь прямо направо. Эй! Вот.
Blood. Seems like amateur work. No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Чё? Нет. М? Мгм. Не, короче, я еще заплатил денег за квартиру. Да, может, до 13 числа. $10 000. Наверное, да. $48. 50. Строитель 63. Мясник 10. Ну да. Ну, просто осталась память у тебя. Ну, то есть она в игре еще есть. Сколько ты всего заработал? Мгм. А у меня что-то 214 тысяч. 208 тысяч. Бег уровень. Тоже 4 и 2. Ой, 5 убил. 5 убил. Задавил, наверное, кого-то. Не смертей 0, а убил 5. А я не знаю, откуда вообще это. Количество друзей 2. Да нет, у меня сейчас, я с этим чуваком тоже поздоровался. Но походу и сейчас. Да нет, каким-то мексиканцем каким-то. Ну, подвез его. Потом еще раз. Да, да. И сейчас его, походу, нет. Дал ему свой номер и все.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Слушай, я сейчас пойду. Выйду сейчас из игры. Смотри, там, короче, внизу. Ну, где тачку помнишь, припарковал большую. Интересно, она останется или нет? Всё, я вышел из игры, посмотри. У меня батарейка не заряжается. Ну, мне кажется, просто он это из-за игры не держал. То есть прям потреблял и сразу, знаешь, понял, да, о чем я имею в виду. Ты сейчас дискотека. Да, да. Вообще ничего нет. Даже арендованным? Не, у гаража нет. Зря. Так, у нас сейчас раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь, девять, 10, 14 администраторов.
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
Я тебе советую красную одежду снять. Потому что оружейный магазин номер 3 был захвачен группировкой красной одежды. Да, сегодня в 8:30.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Еще еду раздавали. Магазин номер 10. А вот он. Номер 12, да, магазин? Да. Потому что это ночью. Потому что чувак купил. Купил его недавно.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Вот, уже начался. Этот заряжаться.
How many?
Все, короче, Valorant больше не работает.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions.
Ну, через 2 дня, через 2 недели или неделю выйдет.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Бесплатно.
Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Edition. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Things are not looking good. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant.
The Queen has little protection.
I never tire of browsing through them.
The Chalice of Knowledge. The Chalice of Knowledge. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
dear friend. I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. The Chalice of Knowledge.
Ладно, я пойду. Алло. Я пойду, короче. Пока.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch, slightly sticky. 30-year-old subject, severe hypothermia, erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums, necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations, and this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.